I was born and grew up in a very warm and very safe environment. My parents were doctors, so it was very, having education was like, there was no choice that you cannot have less education. You need to always have at least university level postgraduate. So I did my master's in clinical psychology. I came here after getting married in 2003. He sponsored me. But when I came here, his life was quite a chaos. He did not have the same job. There was no school because he could not finish the school. The first thing that was told to me that, we want a child. You need to start a family right away, no matter what the situation is. So I got pregnant right away from my first child. And then that was another challenge because I was in a new country. I was learning a new language. I was settling in a new environment. I was pregnant for my first child. I used to sometimes work 10 to 3 and 3 to 11. There's no break in between two jobs. In 2010 was the first time that I spoke for myself. I stood up and I said, this is not the way I want to live my life. I have all the rights to be who I am, and I'm just literally losing my mind. And for that reason, when I told my ex-husband and his family, they thought that I was mentally ill. They said, it's just the mental illness that you have. And I said, no, it's just not the mental illness. I need to be who I am. I'm just losing my mind. I'm isolated. I don't have any emotional support. I don't have any financial security. And I don't think that's the way I can make it work for the rest of my life. I just spoke for myself, I just got a voice. That was the moment when I got into massive trouble. Starting from 2010, I went through emotional and physical abuse. So in 2011, my ex-husband found a job in Prince Rupert. He told me that, life will be different and then I'll change, and I apologize, and he turned back to the same beast like he was. It was not physical at that time, but it was more of an emotional trauma for me. He will just literally walk around me and he'll be like, what you gonna do now? Where are you gonna go? So now who's gonna rescue you? You're still my wife, and then you didn't want to be, and then you have no choice other than just do what I'm asking you to do. And I thought, now what I'm gonna do, now who's gonna help me? I met this neighbor of mine who was a clinical counselor, and she connected me with a support worker. August 2nd, 2012, that was the day for me to move out, and it was 11 o'clock. My support worker was supposed to pick me up. All of a sudden, I received a phone call, and he said, I'm coming home in 10 minutes. I thought, I have 10 minutes to save my life. My kids were not even aware of what's going on, but I literally ran to the transition house. So I made it. I got the full custody of my children, and the judge said, there's no point. She is supposed to live here. She is allowed to leave with her children to where her life is. The first door that opened for me was YWCA Second Stage Housing, which is furnished housing for single mothers. I just started my new life from there. In 2013, I got approved for my funding. So from Work BC to get funding to go back to school. That was one of the best things that ever happened to me. I got my permanent housing from YWCA, which is a permanent housing for single mothers. And I moved there in first week of April 2013. Then after that, I just finished my school recently in December. I think after starting this wonderful life and this amazing new journey, through the support that YWCA gave me, now it's my responsibility to give it back to the community, and also the positive energy that was given to me, I will pass it on to the people who needs it the most. And in order to do that, I'm connected with YWCA Transition House, and I will always be working for Y, so that I have this peace of mind that I'm giving back to them what they gave to me, which is an absolute new life and a wonderful beginning of an amazing journey.